Hi, everyone, and thank you for joining us here today. I'm your host, Leah Masten, for Top Industry Professionals to International Radio Podcast, where we are here showcasing prestigious top professionals from all industries all over the globe to share their experience and stories of success. My amazing co-host is here with me, and we are so honored to have her as a host of the show. Originally from Namibia, she was crowned Miss Universe in 1992. Please welcome Michelle McLean.
Hi, Leah. So wonderful to be here. And of course, we have, as usual, an amazing guest, a very accomplished woman, Melinda. Welcome. And we are so excited to be speaking with you today. You have dedicated over 2 decades of your life's work as a business coach and psychotherapist, an international award-winning executive coach, author, columnist, and featured contributor for Forbes Coaching Council. Wow. I mean, it just doesn't get better than that. Founder of Success Starts With You. And so, Melinda, just welcome with us today. And we're excited to hear more about it.
Thank you. It's exciting to be here with both of you and an honor as well. So, yeah, lots of things happen in my life, all because I want it to happen.
I love it. Melinda, you've had such an amazing career and have juggled so many hats. Tell us a little bit about your journey and what got you to where you are today. Was this always something that you wanted to do?
You know, I believe we're put on this earth for a purpose. And over 25 years ago, I was not happy, not fulfilled, and I would rant and rave at the universe. What is my purpose? You didn't put me here for no reason. And one day was a phenomenal day because I would walk down the beach 2 miles and back and do my ranting at the universe. And one day I said, how come you never give me an answer? And the universe says, because you never shut up and listen. You do all the talking. I thought, oh, okay. And then unlike most people, they would shut up immediately. But instead I said, I get to rant for 2 miles and then I'm going to shut up and listen and you're going to give me my answer. And so I did my rant and I'm walking in the surf with my dog. And I turn around and I said, okay, I'm ready for my answer. And on the way back, I'm barefoot, it's a summer day, and I start picking up broken shards of glass. And at the end of the 2 miles, my hands are overflowing with broken shards of glass. And I'm looking at all this, and I thought, how did I not see any of this glass on the way down? And now my hands are overflowing. And the universe says, think about all the broken, shattered lives that need to be picked up and held. I thought, there's my answer, but it's in code. I don't know what it means. Anyway, I had a dear old friend who was my mentor, and he goes, oh, Melinda, it's obvious. You're supposed to be a psychotherapist. I learned a lot that day. I learned listen more than talk. Always ask the right question. You may not be asking the right question. And the answer may come in code, and you better have someone who is your mentor and guide who can help you decipher the answer. So that's how I got started in psychotherapy. And it's been a lovely journey. I am a powerful thinker. Your thoughts create your world. And in my journey, there were a lot of naysayers. You'll never this, you'll never this, you'll never this. I'm like, nope, I will. That's why I said success starts with you, and it starts with your thoughts.
Gosh, you are so spiritual. It's just really, it's so beautiful. And I'm so just touched to be here today. You obviously have had 2 decades doing this work, but what would you say to somebody who would like to aspire to be like you?
Be like me.
and work in your field.
Work in my field. You know, I love what I do. I don't call it work. I look forward to making a difference in someone's life. Everyone has a struggle, an internal struggle, or they have some suffering that's holding them back from being who they really are meant to be. And I've written a book called Cognitive Enlightenment. And in that book, I talk about the negative tape playing, negative thoughts you tell yourself. And it's debilitating and it's harmful for your body because it creates cortisol. And if anybody wants to do what I want to do, You can do it anywhere, in any way, whether it's with children or adults or everything in between. If you recognize that I have a desire to help someone and relieve their suffering, relieve whatever they tell themselves that creates suffering, relieve whatever trauma, then this is meant for you.
Interesting. What would be some tips or tricks that you give for people to try to break out of those negative thought patterns?
Oh, I developed a technique, Leah, over 30 years ago, and I never make anyone do a technique or that I haven't had to do myself.
Yeah.
And it's called the STOP technique, and it's in my book. And STOP is an acronym for Stop the Silent Oppressor. That tape, I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy, whatever. And so you have to, first of all, recognize this tape is playing whether you hear it or not. And it comes in different ways. For instance, I had a CEO say, I never hear the tape at work. And I said, when you do a really good presentation for the board and someone says, hey, you knocked it out of the park, you did so good, what do you say in here? He goes, oh, I always tell myself I could have done it better. He said, that's the tape playing. That's at domino 20. Domino 1 is, I'm not good enough or I'm not worthy. I said, I do this all the time because a lot of people suffer from the imposter syndrome. And I say, what are you supposed to say when someone gives you a compliment? And they watch my body language. They look down and say, thank you, like a child. I said, you know what you just told me? If you said thank you, you would own that success. You would own that you're more than good enough. Yes, we can always do better, but in the moment, you need to own you're more than good enough. And so when you're aware of the tape, you have an intention to change it. When you catch it, you say, stop. I am more than good enough, or I am more than worthy. And I can't tell you how many very successful C-suite people have this tape playing. And it causes suffering. It makes you go to bed at night somewhat unfulfilled. And I actually role play with them to make them say thank you and really own it. And it sounds simple, but it's not. It's challenging for them. And that's the minute internal struggle and suffering I'm talking about that I try to reach. Because it's always this nagging drip of denigrating you rather than you just being filled with joy.
So you obviously have worked with so many people. You can rewire your brain, right? To stop thinking of those negative thoughts.
You can. And I have to tell you, I had to do it. I discovered the technique by accident. And I was in my 30s and it was hard work. It's a disciplining of the mind. You have to say, there's a day you're going to say, I'm just going to let the tape win. And that's when you cannot let it win. What you're doing is every cell in your body believes this negative self-talk. And so you're reprogramming yourself cell by cell. And so you start labeling, no, I'm just hungry. No, I'm just tired, because that's when the tape plays loudest. And when you do it and you change that tape, you change energetically. And I told myself, I wonder when I see my father, if he's going to see a shift. And it was about 6 months later, he came to visit and he's sitting across from me. And all of a sudden he said, oh my gosh, you're different. Because when you change that energy around, just like Pigpen and Charlie Brown, imagine Pigpen without that dust cloud around him. He looked very different, right? Or if Eeyore in...
That's my favorite.
His whole body would perk up. So it's like that. You energetically change and people see it and feel it. and your confidence increases. And the most charismatic quality of anyone is self-confidence.
Gosh, you just blow me away with this, because I think we need this in our lives every single day, all of us.
Absolutely.
Reprogram ourselves to be positive and to do, and to create more positivity and success in our lives. So you've had this illustrious career. You've won numerous awards, honors, featured in magazines. You've been honored by IAOTP's annual awards gala for your selection of being the IAOTP's Lifetime Achievement Award winner, top international executive coach of the year, and your selection for the top 50 fearless leaders. Oh my gosh. You appeared on the famous Reuters billboard in Times Square. You also graced the front cover of Tip magazine. Now, you've achieved so much in your life, but what has been the highlight of your career?
The highlight of my career. Cheryl, it happens every day. Every day when I change someone's life and they're not suffering is a highlight. Like, you see me tearing up. I mean, the people that flash through my head.
Now you're making me cry.
No. This is why I say I love what I do.
Beautiful.
I have these young, very successful 40-year-old men, and I hear all the time, why didn't I see that? Or why didn't I think of that? And I said, because you're this close to it and I'm out here. Mm-hmm. And I guess the interpersonal highlight is me owning that I've arrived at a certain, and this is not with arrogance, a certain wisdom at my age. Because I've seen it all. I'm an expert witness in court on domestic violence and child abuse. I've seen it all. There's wisdom that doesn't come in the courtroom because we're so burdened by so many laws and regulations. And the more I can reach people, that's why I write for Forbes. There's one gem, because sometimes I don't know what I say that will change someone's life. I don't know what it is, but I hear, years ago when you said that to me, it changed my life. I'm like, okay, note to self, that was that helped someone. So, but you never know. That's why it's important to be kind to everyone. You never know who you might affect by just a smile. The other day in the car, my granddaughter is in the back seat. My daughter's stressing. And my granddaughter says, Mama, are you happy? I don't think so. You need to take a big, deep breath and calm down.
Wonder where she learned that one. So cute.
I'm thinking, okay, I hope she just made a difference in my daughter's life right now.
Cute.
Oh, you can make a difference at 3.
Yeah. So Melinda, aside from all the amazing and inspirational and beautiful work that you do, what do you like to do for fun? What are your hobbies?
Well, I'm an avid hiker. In fact, my sister and I are going to hike from village to village in the Swiss Alps this summer.
Oh, cool.
Lovely.
And I think that's my first love.
Mm-hmm.
And I like to road bike. Actually, I live in Colorado. I'm a skier.
Okay.
And I love to write. I'm working on my next book. And it's going to be a difficult one to write. It's called Contaminated Love, How Not to Love Your Children.
Mm. Tell us more. Goodness me. You give me goosebumps.
Interesting.
A lot of parents don't realize they're coming from their heart and they think it's coming from love and they want their children to be perfect and they want their children to succeed. And yet they're not allowing their children to be them. And if you want your child to be perfect at everything, which of course no one is, then you're putting this undue pressure on this child to perform for you rather than for them to develop. And so it's these subtle things that you are unaware of that contaminated love lies somewhere in conditional love, because you're going to shape your child like, you didn't make an A. Like I had a client say, I'll never forget the day my dad said she had all A's and one B. He said, you made a B. And she said, Dad, did you see all the A's I made? That is the subtleness I'm talking about. That can just make you feel not good enough. And I want to eradicate that tape from everyone's life. You're more than good enough.
You know, what's come up for me recently, I'm sorry if I'm digressing a little bit here, but in a lot of business relationships, I've been approached by men in my life in business that are dealing with really difficult issues in their relationships with their wives. And I'm feeling uncomfortable thinking, oh, why are they talking to me about it? But they're searching for some, like advice, some light in this. There's a lot that people are talking to me about gaslighting in a relationship.
Yes.
And I know parents do that with kids as well. Can you just talk to that point a little bit? I'm trying to get some clarity around it.
Like I mentioned early, listen more and ask the right question. And if you're gaslighting, you're projecting on that person. If you're gaslighting, you're feeling defensive, but you attack to put them on the defensive. And
wow.
Most of my coaching is around improving communication skills. How many people don't like to confront? I say, no, you're not going to confront. You're going to get curious. In other words, instead of confronting, you get curious and you say, okay, help me understand something. How come this mistake, not you make the mistake, how come this mistake keeps happening? Now, I'm refining communication so the person doesn't feel attacked. If you say, how come you keep making this mistake, is attacking, that's confronting. Help me understand how come this mistake, now it's a mistake and we're going to collaborate together. Mm-hmm. And so you're right. A lot of my clients say, Melinda, can we make this a therapy session, not a coaching session?
What is the difference for you?
Yeah. How do you?
Oh, there's a lot, ladies. It's so much fun. Psychotherapy, I cannot hit them with a 2x4. I have to, and I cannot bring in information that they haven't brought up. In coaching, I say, hey, you just got possessed by the Superman archetype. I did? Yeah, you did. And you don't know what your kryptonite is. And kryptonite is nature, and this is going to bring you down. They don't understand that. I can't do that unless the client in psychotherapy says, I kind of feel a little arrogant in work and and I want to just wow everybody and I want to be the hero. Then I could say, is Superman your hero? Oh, yeah. Okay. Then they've brought it into the room where I can just slam. Coaching is powerful. It's my tagline used to be coaching with an iron fist and a velvet glove. And I'd have a lot of men say, oh, you don't look so tough. And then I'd hear, you just brought the velvet glove off, didn't you? That's the difference. I can't bring the iron glove into the psychotherapy room.
Which do you enjoy more?
I enjoy them both because they both come from different places, but it's using the same skills and tools I crafted for over 25 years. But, I've learned a lot in this amount of time. I had early on in my career, I had a co-ed, and every Monday he would have failed over the weekend and blacked out drinking and didn't go to classes and all of that. And every Monday I was getting really tired of hearing the same story. And I was new at this, and he came in, I decided I've had enough. So he comes in to start to tell the same Monday morning story. And I did this, and I said, no, I'm tired of this story. I said, you're really good at one thing. And he said, what? I said, you're good at failing life. Just do it consciously and own it. That was,
Wow.
it turned out okay. We don't
Talk about tough love.
Wow.
He said, because you're right, I'm really good at failing life. I said, now just do it consciously for me, okay? So that was a very early stage in my career as an intern. Yeah. I realized you don't do those things. There's a loving way to do it.
Yeah.
Kinder way, but you fumble along and you refine your craft over and over. So yeah, it doesn't get any better than this.
So what's next for you? You're writing a book, but what else? What else do you want to achieve in 5 years? Not that you have to achieve anymore, but what would you want to?
Oh, it's funny. I was never going to write a book, and everyone kept saying, you need to write a book. Now everyone's telling me you should do a TED Talk. I'm like, I don't need to do a TED Talk. So I know when everyone's saying that, and I'm saying no, I'm just resisting what I should say yes to. So I think maybe I'll try to do a TED Talk soon. Who knows?
Awesome. Incredible. Do you do a lot of public speaking, conferences?
I do, and I really love it. The last one I did had to be virtual still. It was 1,000 women, and it was called Channeling Your Feminine Power in the Face of Adversity. And feminine is not gender. And so I talk about how women are more relationship building, and studies since 2004, the more women on boards, the higher the P&L, the higher the profits, the more collaboration and innovation that can be accomplished in an organization. And so we need both, the masculine and the feminine qualities, but we don't understand the power of the feminine qualities in adversity. So I loved that. So yeah, I like doing public speaking.
Sounds like an awesome talk.
It's just, it's wonderful. It's just another way to reach more people.
Yeah.
What would you say to your, because you got one grandchild or more grandchildren?
Grandchildren, a granddaughter and a grandson.
Okay, so what would you say to them about creating success and happiness in their life if you had to give them advice?
Good question, Michelle.
I want to know this. I'm couching it in. Imagine if you had to say that to your grandchildren.
Believe in yourself, even when no one else does. Listen to your intuition; it's never wrong.
Yes.
If someone is criticizing you from an unhealthy place, tell yourself they're probably jealous of you and don't listen to them. Hang out with the 5 people you want to be like that build you up, and walk away from people that tear you down. And just always surround yourself with beauty and light and love.
Oh my gosh, I just want to be in your company.
I know. I'm going to make an appointment right now.
I want to come skiing with you.
Oh, man. You can come skiing with me. You can come hiking with me.
Oh. You're just so lovely.
A friend in the field, she's creating what she calls ecotherapy. She wants to do therapy out hiking in the wilderness. And I have one client who came out and we skied all day while I coached him. It was a lot of fun.
That's a fun way to do it.
Actually, that is a very clever idea. Take the coaching outside.
Outside, yep.
You should take them on a safari in Namibia.
Yes, I was just thinking that.
I thought so.
Hours and hours in a car looking at animals. Of course, you're going to have lots of time to people.
It'd be whip shined.
A lot more than an hour And this expands the opportunity for the unconscious to be working with whatever's coming up, especially in a different kind of environment that we're not used to. Yeah.
Well, we could just be chatting all day long. Thank you so much for giving your time today. And I'm sure all the listeners and all our members are just totally inspired by you, as we are.
Yeah.
Guys, this was so much fun. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And for more information, and if someone wants to get a hold of you, do they just go to your website, successstartswithyou.net?
Yes, or they can call me on the phone or send me an email.
Perfect. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Melinda. Such a pleasure.
We'll see you
Have a
soon.
good day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.